need to mobilize strongly the savings to create a big difference between deposits and loans, so that in that difference, we can now engage government. We then need to restore back the confidence so that we scale up our savings and create a buffer. So I'm challenging you. One of the most important emerging development and key economic policy intervention of the new administration, namely the financial inclusion, popularly known as the Hustler Fund. The President has intended to enable Kenyans at the bottom of the pyramid to access affordable and timely credit facilities who have been previously locked out of the credit facilities, and to boost the savings culture while creating a momentum for sustainable development. There are 4 products which will be supported by the fund, namely the personal loan, micro loan, SME loan, and startups. Already, the personal loan products has been finished, and as well as the regulations, which are now undergoing public participation. The first phase rollout of this flagship program of the government will be unveiled and launched on 30th of November 2022 by His Excellency the President. Cooperatives through Saccos are expected to play a major role through which Kenyans will access the Hustler Fund. So the personal loan will range between 500 shillings to 50,000. And we have also surveyed the market. On average, the 7 million people who are in this category, the digital lending, the fintechs, are borrowing between 700 and 2,000 shillings. Using the institutions who have been doing this thing, now working with them to develop. Once we graduate them from personal loan, we go to the SME micro loan. And that is where we are coming to cooperative bank and cooperative Saccos and have an engagement. Because we also have one problem as government. Many of these loans have been given to various banks, but when we check, it doesn't get to these hustlers. The banks have held back the money and used it to lend it to commercial borrowers. So the impact has not been felt. So we will also have a service level agreement with the Saccos and banks who will qualify to this facility to ensure that delivery is done so that we achieve our intended goal, but through the intermediary. Our responsibility ends at the time at the SLA agreement. As we are on a mission, we want to ensure we impact at the bottom of the pyramid. So it doesn't serve us when we give you this money and use it otherwise, or you put it in a government bill or bond. That is not the purpose. This is going to be the biggest bank, the biggest digital. We are moving towards virtual banking. We have a role, and I see cooperative as a participatory, as a contribution. You have a role to play in government.
We have worked very closely with the government to position the cooperative movement of Kenya at a pedestal at the global stage, with over 22,000 registered cooperatives in Kenya, policy and legislative framework, prioritization of the enactment of the Cooperative Societies Bill into an act by Parliament. In addition, we seek further review of the Saccos Societies Act to provide SASRA with more capabilities for supervising and supporting SACCO that get into liquidity and all operational challenges. Support for our coffee cooperatives and unions to mill and market their coffee, specifically push for revocation of the recently gazetted coffee regulations that prohibit the licensed coffee brokerage companies owned by cooperatives union from trading their own coffee at the coffee exchange.